Hello and welcome to the very first episode of This Week in Chairs, an esports podcast. This is a show where we talk about the latest news, events, stories, drama in esports, but through the perspective of chairs specifically. So how were chairs used in the events in esports this last week? How did the chairs fit into the shows thematically? How did they help the players play better, or did they make the players play worse? How did people perceive these chairs? And when people look back at each of these events, are they going to remember the chairs as a core theme of that show, or is it going to be just this throwaway thing that you don't remember? So on this show, we're going to dive into chairs in esports on a level that no one else is hitting, and really dissect the minutia of chairs and discuss the details that really make these events and chairs what they are. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that sounds great. Finally, the kind of chair-based esports coverage I've been looking for, but who are you guys? If I'm getting chair news, I want it from some credentialed people, right? So it's a great question. We'll go down the line and introduce ourselves. Me first, my name is Doug Reedon. I work at ESL as a producer, so I work primarily on Hearthstone events. But most importantly, I have experience sort of with the planning and execution of events, and specifically how chairs play into those events. So, Jack, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Jack Cambu. I'm probably the least qualified to speak about esports chairs specifically. Now, as far as chairs go, I am an attorney. I have sat in chairs for 27 years of my life, and I have handled multiple cases involving chair breakages under, let's just say, heavyweights.
Yeah, and what's really good about Jack, I'd say, is that you have a lot of legal contacts. I'd say, like people who are just...
A ton of legal contacts.
Who are just the most knowledgeable people about the legal ramifications of chairs.
Yeah, we like to call them experts. That's what they're typically referred to as. But, as far as esports chairs go, I can tell you which ones are going to break like that and which ones are not.
Yeah. So this is some real hard-hitting legal perspective on chairs coming from Jack. And then we also have a special guest today, which is Will Amnesiac Barton. Will, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I play video games and sit in chairs. What more could you want?
Yeah, so I think, Will, you're a Hearthstone professional player. You just top 8'd at BlizzCon. And I say, just a little bit of perspective from you. What's it like, being at an event and sitting in a chair? Just for somebody who's never sat in a chair at an esports event, just give us an overview.
It's a rush. Put it that way. You can't even focus on the game. Like, it's all about the chair. Are the arms at the right level? Can I scoot up close enough? Can I not? Yeah, I actually couldn't at BlizzCon. It was annoying. But yeah, the chair metagame really defines an esport event rather than simply supplements it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
an integral part. So that's us. I think importantly, you might be wondering, what is the point of this podcast? And we have one goal, and that is to get sponsored by Maxnomic and get two free chairs. Yeah. So that is the sole goal of this podcast, and our aim is to provide the most fair and balanced coverage of chairs in esports that has ever been done. And in doing so, we will prove to Maxnomic that we are deserving of 2 free chairs for our apartment.
Yeah.
So everything will tie back to that. And, if you like the show, if you appreciate what we're doing, please reach out to Maxnomic and let them know and tell them that we deserve a sponsorship.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up real quick. This is my current gaming chair. As you can see, 1922 design, hard beechwood, no armrests, no cup holders. I need something better.
Yeah. Success in this podcast is really going to elevate our gaming ability, I'd say. All right, fantastic. So let's dive into the bread and butter of this show, which is where we review some chairs from this last week in esports. So we're going to start off with this event here. This is the Team Celestial Invitational. It's a Hearthstone event. And it's actually a really, really cool event. They invited 12 players, and they play in these matches that are like a best of 17 with a constantly changing format. So like each week they have a different type of set of rules they have to adhere by. So these super, super, super long 1v1s, which are really uncommon in the scene. But most importantly, there was 4 Chinese players who were playing, and each of them sat in this chair. So just right off the bat, what are your first thoughts on this chair, Jack?
I'm going to tell you the truth. Not looking all that ergonomic. Looks like your thoracic spine not going to get much support. Looks like you're going to put a lot of strain on your cervical spine. I could see a product's liability case arising from this chair, to tell you the truth.
A lot of legal issues. And in fact, I looked up the company Autofull, and you can't buy this chair anywhere. So it's like a really sketchy background, I think. Will, what are you thinking about this chair? Like, how would you feel as a professional Hearthstone player? How would this affect your experience competing?
I got one word, Doug. Brutal. You can see it on Brett's face. He's like, where the hell is the chair guy?
Yeah.
Who's giving me this? That's the type of frustration that you get when you get this kind of chair. Look at the back. It's a cardboard plank. It's nothing. There's no give. You know, Brett is just thinking, man, if this is my life 5 years down the line, I'm going to have back problems. I'm going to need to get specialized chairs. All because Autofull just couldn't get the job done. This is a low rating chair, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can very clearly tell that they're going for some kind of, villainous throne approach here. But he's not even using the back of the chair.
Yeah.
What's the point of a chair if you may as well just have a stool there?
Yeah.
That's the truth of the matter.
He just came off of a game loss in this clip, so he's like, you can see, he's like emotionally distraught, and this chair is doing nothing to provide him comfort, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Like, you should be able to, you like lose a game, you're like, and you lean back and the chair comforts you. It's like emotional, it envelops you and it provides support, and he's like, he's terrified still. Look, it's not doing anything.
It looks like an obsidian slab.
Right there, he's like, oh, is that the chair guy? No, it's not the chair guy. All right, back to sitting on my stool.
Yeah.
That's okay, guys.
The whole time he's just looking up, hoping the chair guy will improve something soon, but it's just not happening. So let's talk a little bit, like, how would you improve this chair, Will? I mean, if you could do anything to this chair, features, coloring, material, what jumps out at you?
Well, gotta give credit where credit's due. I think the headrest has a place. I think that's integral in a finalized chair's very well-designed being. So, that said, the issue is currently, if I could demonstrate a little bit, you get your head back, but then your back is supposed to go like this, and then you're like this, and you're upset about it. So, in my opinion, not only does the back need to be padded, not just be a slab of plastic, but it also needs to come out further so that you can get a nice curvature of the spine that's healthy, straight up, and then you get the headrest dynamic. Rather than just this awkward Frankensteinian contraption that we're calling a gaming chair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. If you lean back in that thing, if you lean all the way back in that thing, your neck is just gonna jut forward, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can see that very clearly. Another thing I just want to bring up, no cup holders. Again, you need the cup holder. It's necessary.
Will, I assume that you get thirsty when you play Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, all
I can
the
see a
time.
drink on his desk right now. Right now I can see a drink.
It's a thirsty sport. Yeah. It's a huge oversight on the manufacturers. Maybe they just weren't intending to make this chair for Hearthstone, but that's an issue. It shouldn't be used for Hearthstone then. If this wasn't built from the ground up for a Hearthstone competition, it has no place here. So, as always with these chairs, we're going to review each chair and talk about its impact on the show. We're going to review it on 5 different categories and review each category on a scale of 1 to 7 because that's the most fair and balanced. So those 5 categories are...
Did we not write this down?
Those 5 categories are... Will, what's the first one? Sex appeal. Number 2. Aesthetic. Number 3.
I want to go with seating posture.
Seating posture. Number 4, I'd say logo. And then 5, coloring.
Coloring? Sure. Wouldn't that fall under sex appeal? I could have sworn we wrote these down.
No, we didn't write this down. Alright, so the first one is sex appeal. I'd give it a 2 on a scale of 1 to 7. Like, this isn't gonna get... Although, I'll give it credit. There are, like, the red stripes there, which is nice. There's something.
Yeah, I would actually rate this pretty high on the sex appeal. I'd give it a 5. It doesn't mean it's comfortable,
Oh, gotcha. So you feel
Yeah.
like it's a sexy chair, just
It's
not
like,
comfortable.
it's a sexy looking chair, but, like, I don't think it would be comfortable to sit in. I don't think it's going to do the purpose that you want it to do, which is obviously provide comfort while gaming.
Gotcha. So maybe, like, we'll settle on, like, a 4 for sex appeal.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, and then number 2, aesthetic, which is similar.
Yeah, it's basically the exact same. But you know what? This time I'm gonna give it a 3 for aesthetic.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 for aesthetic. What was the third one?
We really should have wrote these down.
All right, we're changing course. We're just giving this chair a rating on a scale of 1 to 7.
1 to 7 rating.
We'll average our 3. Will, what's your rating? Scale of 1 to 7.
On what?
This chair.
Oh, we just scrapped the other 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a solid 1, Doug. Just not
Really?
feeling this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 3. I think it has potential, but I think it also has a lot of very serious flaws and setbacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 as well. I feel like it has some redeeming qualities. Like it looks nice. I'd say it's not sexy, but it looks clear cut. So what we
that's
averaged
a
it
1.7 average.
something like a yeah
No,
2
no.
point
2 because it's
7 third?
Yeah.
yeah
2 and third and third.
That's why I don't do math.
yeah.
Where'd you get 1.7?
Because I'm an idiot and was like, oh, 1 plus 3 plus 3 is 5, and then you divide that by 3.
All right, perfect. So congratulations to Team Celestial who ran this event. Your chairs get a 2.25. Is that it?
2.3.
Oh, 2.3. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to our next event of the week. This was Smash the Records. This is this like really awesome Super Smash Brothers event that was run in Florida. It was actually like a charity event as well. So you can see the doubles event here. They did a whole bunch of really fun stuff. And all of it was going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So you can see on the bottom right, there's like a donation counter. So they raised like $50,000. This really amazing event. And it was run in this hotel in Florida, or in a hotel ballroom. I don't know the exact name of the hotel, but I know that they used these chairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classics.
And here, we can actually enhance. So let's take a look at this one in detail. Now again, the event organizers didn't get to pick this chair. They were just in the hotel, and the hotel provided these chairs. So just first thoughts off the bat, Jack, on this.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a very sturdy design. These chairs are made specifically to cater to every kind of conceivable consumer and customer that you might have in a restaurant, a hotel, anything along those lines. You can kind of see, it's kind of one piece of steel bent, which is supposed to really reinforce. As you can see, she slams it down, no problem.
Yeah.
That said, they're not going to be that comfortable. We've all sat in that kind of chair before, whether it's at a Burger King, L&L barbecue. Any real restaurant's going to have a chair like that. I'm not sure what it's going to do for your game.
Yeah, it seems pretty bare minimum, to be honest, but legally it sounds like it's pretty safe.
It's a sound chair, it's a sound chair.
Have you ever encountered cases that involve chairs like these, where somebody was injured on a chair using?
Not a chair like that yet. In fact, I have had cases where restaurants have had that chair and different chairs, and those are the only chairs that ended up passing muster. So, go figure. And again, there she slants it.
Yeah. Will, have you sat in a chair like this?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm fresh out of elementary school, so harkening back to my my school recital days, these chairs were the chairs, and I must say, I'm not a fan. I agree. You will not ever get told your chair doesn't work, but were I to sit down in this chair for a competition, I would just start having flashbacks. 5th grade play, couldn't remember my line.
Yeah.
What was the line? Do you remember it now?
Why would I remember it now? I couldn't remember it then.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Truly traumatic.
Yeah.
I would probably just walk off the stage were this to be my chair. I would sit down, I would look off into space for a couple minutes, and then I would tap out. So, really not doing it for me.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of a game here, little role play. So Will, you and I are going to be the chief operations officer of this hotel. We have to help plan this event for these guys. And Jack, you're the hotel owner.
Okay.
So you get final say on the chairs. So let's start. Sir, we've just been approached by some esports event organizers. They want to run a Super Smash Brothers tournament here in our ballroom.
A what tournament?
A Super Smash Brothers event. It's like Pac-Man on the Game Boy.
Okay, what's a Pac-Man?
It's like chess.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with the chess tournament.
And they need hundreds of chairs for this ballroom. We need to buy something. What do you recommend?
Ah, jeez. You know, we do have these chairs from 1986, which we've had for years, and I don't see why those kids can't just sit in those. You know?
These kids are sitting for hours. They could have lower back problems if they're subjected to these chairs for hours on end.
Many of them already do have lower back problems. This will simply accentuate the problem. I strongly urge that we do anything other than your suggestion.
Do you think maybe there's lawsuits coming if kids sit in these chairs for 8 hours and have to go to the doctor afterwards?
You know, there's always the possibility that's going to happen, but I just don't know if the cost of having to bring in new chairs is going to outweigh the benefit of this one tournament. I mean, would you guys make any suggestions as far as buying some chairs go?
I'd say 2,000 Maxnomic chairs could really help our...
Now, Maxnomic, how have I heard that name before?
I too agree with this whole Maxnomic charade. They're the best in the business. I know that they're always looking for things to sponsor, namely with the multiple of 2. And yeah. I really think that they could make a difference for this tournament, and maybe some people at home who are just watching and just want to experience what the gamers are experiencing. So I vote for the Maxnomic.
Interesting. Now, I know we're just talking about, you know, the tournament here and the chairs that would be required for that tournament, but I own an entire hotel. And, you know, these Maxnomics chairs, they just sound phenomenal. Or do you guys think I should possibly replace all of the chairs in the hotel, you know, in the rooms, in the dining rooms? Should I replace all of those with these Maxnomic chairs?
How many chairs are there total in our hotel? I can't remember.
You know, it's got to be on the order of 10,000.
Cool. And a Maxnomic chair, I believe, is about $400. So you're looking at 4 to 5 million.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they would give us a cut, right? Some kind of discount.
Yeah, they often sponsor hotel chair renovations.
I think we got to go for it.
I agree.
You've convinced me.
I think you need the vintage aspect of leaving a couple chairs behind, but you don't want to mess up the order. So order enough chairs, but leave a couple behind just for those old folks, and then with the excess, maybe just ship them out to some lucky chair podcasters or something. You know, someone who's really passionate about the chair meta.
Yeah, I could definitely see this being a way to start sending chairs to podcasters.
All right, well, you've both convinced me. I think we're agreed on this. We're buying these kids Maxnomic chairs for their tournament.
Good. And that's what could have happened if they had responsible hotel management. But alas, these are the chairs. So let's wrap this segment up. So, Will, scale of 1 to 7, how do you rate this chair and why?
Honestly, it's a pretty safe pick. It's got a little lean back for the back area, which is good. So you're not just hunched forward. You're not just slouching forward like many gamers do. And it's got a wide enough base for most people. It won't break, but the lack of armrests is quite an issue. I don't know how Super Smash Bros. Players tend to hold their controllers in chairs. I would imagine that they don't use the armrest. But after a tough loss, you really want to be able to lean back and decompress. And in these chairs, you lean back and then you hate yourself because there are no armrests. So I'm probably going to go with a 3.
3. Jack?
I'm going to go with a 4 for different reasons. Like I said, you know, I just really like these chairs. They're very sturdy. Mm-hmm. I know that they're not going to provide you too much support as far as the back goes. You know, you got no armrests. But I have a soft spot in my place for these chairs, you know. Whenever I see one of these chairs, it means something's not coming up on my desk later on the week. That said, you know, yeah, serious problem with the armrests missing. Serious problem with the aesthetic. I mean, it's pretty pathetic looking. Like, it's your grandma's chair. It's your grandpa's chair. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any sex appeal.
No.
There's no sex appeal. I don't like the aesthetic. I don't care about the legality. Like, I'm fine getting severely injured in a chair. I'll sustain lifetime back injuries and surgeries if it means that chair looks kick-ass and this chair looks awful. I would give it a -1 if I could, but I can't because it's not fair and balanced. So I'm giving it a 1.
Oof. All right.
This is just a shit chair. And nothing on the event. The event was great, but this hotel needs to step up their game. So what is the average of that? What do you, Will?
When we have a 1, 3, and a 4.
3, 4, and 1. So 8 divided by 3 is 2.7.
There's no way of knowing. Okay,
2.7.
okay, hotel. You get a 2.7 on your chairs for this event.
Still better than the last.
Still better than last year.
Better than the dedicated esports event.
I think you can step your game up in the future. All right, let's go on to our last event. So this is HomeStory Cup. It's going on this weekend. Super cool StarCraft 2 event going on in Germany. And the whole theme of this event is it's like very homey, casual feeling. So they have a whole lot of like really, really good players that show up and play. They play throughout the weekend in this kind of like bar setting. But what's really awesome is that the casters all cast from this couch. So they're on a couch setting the entire weekend. This really, really laid back feel. And what I want to talk about with this, I think it achieves that, right? You're like, okay, these guys are hanging out, they're having fun, this isn't too serious. But this chair also, or this couch, and again, a couch is just a giant chair, right? So
We don't want to get into the legality of that.
This chair isn't too comfortable, and what I mean by that is like you can see it has like some professionalism to it, right? Like the beads along the left and right, and all the holes. Like this doesn't look super comforting. The guy on the left in blue, like he doesn't look super comfortable. He's not like leaning back at all. The guy in the middle is like clearly a little bit awkward. So I wouldn't say it's like overtly comfortable. This isn't something you'd want in your apartment, but it achieves the goal, like that perfect mix of like professionalism and pleasure, you know?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I would say about that is, and this is kind of my position on all things leather couch. You know, obviously in the esports setting, you're not going to be able to do this, but if you've ever been naked on a leather couch, it's just vile. It's, you know, you're sticking everywhere, it's sweaty, it's not good. So that's always going to detract for me on a leather couch.
Yep.
Will?
I think the ridiculous sex appeal factor is what gets me on this one.
Yeah, it's got a 7 in sex appeal for sure.
100%.
Really?
And
7?
Yeah.
From a luxury standpoint, you really think that once the camera's off these casters, they're just not leaning back, looking at the sky and shooting the shit for an hour?
I don't
like-
think so. And perfect segue there. So I looked up this couch on Amazon and I found a review of it. So I want to read that review right here. This review comes from Jay Bruscato on the couch scene there. It looks great. I love the quality. I've since seen and touched similar products in stores that are priced higher and had inferior quality. I'm overall pleased with this purchase. When the package was en route, the shipping company called and told me they impaled the couch with a forklift. I appreciated the call and asked that the item be returned to the sender before delivery was made. I patiently waited 2 weeks to have a fully intact couch delivered to my office without issue. My only slight complaint, the couch is about 2 inches too short for my 6'2" frame to lay on. I imagine that a person who is 5'9" can comfortably stretch out without any issue for an afternoon nap. If I want to take a nap, I have to sort of bend my legs or else hang them off the side. This is not a major inconvenience as I only use it as an office couch. Still, if I could pay a little more and get an extra 2 inches, I would have gladly done so. I never write reviews. This is a big ticket purchase. Decided I owe it to people shopping. Good luck. I hope you enjoy. So thanks for writing in, Jay Bruscato on Amazon. And then again, it emphasizes the point, right? Like these guys couldn't, if they wanted to, lay down and take a nap because they're all at least 6 foot, right?
Are we sure about that?
I'm sure, for the sake of argument.
Well, I think the guy on the right, I know he's pretty tall. I think.
I mean, he's looking pretty tall.
Yeah, he's looking pretty tall.
Yeah.
So, but that's the point, right? I don't think it'd be easy for them to take a nap. You know, this chair, this doesn't support that. This is a professional couch. This is meant for a business.
Yeah, I mean, as Jay Bruscato told us, you know, it's an office couch. There's no denying that. I feel like that's often the cases with these kind of couches. Any kind of armed couch, you know, more than anything, it's not going to be used for comfort. It's really to show off a certain aesthetic, to really show that you can afford to buy such a big ticket item.
So it's about showmanship.
Yeah.
Okay, Will, your final thoughts and what's your review of this giant chair on a scale of 1 to 7?
Well, as you know, Doug, I'm often called the young savage. And young savage is often looking for ways to really amp up his sex life, to put it, you know, in a more family-friendly context. So, I think this chair, this big chair, as we'll call couches from now on, is really helping me achieve that goal. You know, just like wild sex appeal, along with the extremely attractive aspect of playing video games professionally, and being white. So yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard one to come back.
All right, what's your number? Scale of 1 to 7. Will, what's your number?
You want my number?
Yeah, you gotta rate it. Scale of 1 to 7.
Oh, I thought you meant my phone number. I was like, oh, rate.
I was just so turned on by your speech. Okay, scale of 1 to 7.
Throw out a 7, just for how much this is gonna boost my sex life.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this one. There's just something about leather couches that doesn't do it for me.
We didn't touch legally. Have you had issues with big chairs like this? I feel like there's probably a lot of support. Like, there's not a lot of people get injured on it.
You know, it's an entirely different industry. Believe it or not.
You don't deal.
Totally
you don't deal with
different
couches.
standards. Just impossible for me, in good faith, to actually describe the legal ramifications of this couch.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got to do my due diligence. I've got to accurately report. It's very important. But as I was saying, something about leather couches just doesn't do it for me. I get the sex appeal, I guess, of here's this long chair that's covered in leather. Should be nice, but for some reason it just doesn't work. I'm gonna go ahead and give it, I don't know, 3 out of 7.
Oh. Okay. So we're at 10 total. I'm gonna give this a 5. And I say that it has great sex appeal. It does great at pushing that theme that they're going for here, which is just very homey. But it doesn't look super comfortable. I would not want to play a game on this. I wouldn't even want to cast a game on this. I think it fits incredibly well with the theme, but isn't something I'd ultimately want to use. But it is something that has a ton of sex appeal, and that's why it gets a 5 for me. So,
Okay. So
overall,
5 total.
yeah, overall this averages a 5. Congratulations, HomeStory Cup. You had the highest reviewed chair of the week.
And it wasn't even a chair.
It was a big.
It was a very big chair, which gives an advantage. All right, cool. So that's our chair reviews for this show. Your next segment is chair news. So this is where we talk about any like big chair announcements or trailers that happened this week just in the chair world. And there aren't any. So then our last segment is chair trivia.
All right.
So
Let's get to it.
Yeah, so with this, I just want to make sure that when people watch this show, they can come away from it having learned something new about chairs every week. You always are learning and improving yourself with regards to chairs. So the way we're going to do this, I have a trivia question here. I'm going to ask both Will and Jack, if you can see if you guys know it. And yeah, we'll find out what is your chair knowledge. Okay, so inside the inner chamber of the Parthenon in Greece, there is a Pentelic marble sculpture created by Phidias in 443 BC. On that Parthenon sculpture, who is the Greek god portrayed sitting in a barback chair that is ornamented with sphinxes and has the feet of beasts?
Okay, I've got to ask a question on this question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you say the feet of beasts, are you saying that his feet are beasts, or did you mean to say that at his feet are beasts?
No, the chair's feet are carved
beasts.
as beasts.
Okay.
So this is in the Parthenon, who is the Greek god that is portrayed sitting in a barback chair ornamented with sphinxes.
Pan?
What?
He's saying Pan, the Greek god.
Pan.
That's your answer? Is that your official answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Dionysus.
Both incorrect. It was Zeus. Suck dick.
Man.
Terrible chairs.
That's terrible. Ugh.
It's Zeus.
I was
obviously.
thinking Pan for a while, though, because of that feet of beasts thing.
Oh, yeah. And actually, correct me if I'm wrong, the Parthenon is for Athena, right?
Yes. Well, it's in Athens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who is the patron? So you'd think it would be Athena.
Well, I mean, her father is Zeus. I mean, they've got all kinds of gods in there.
Yeah.
I just knew it wasn't Poseidon.
Yeah.
That was the only one I knew it wasn't.
How did you...
Because they hate each other.
I'm sure at some point Athena and Poseidon fight in the whole history of Greek gods.
Yeah. Nice.
No, they're always sniping at each other.
I think they fought over who would be they tried to they fought over who would the city of Athens would be named after, and like Athena made like something useful, and Poseidon made like a huge water thing, but it was salt water, so the people couldn't drink it, so they got mad, and Athena just gave them like an olive tree, I think it was. And they were like, it's better.
Yeah, he's right.
So it was a good process of elimination. But yeah, we'll keep hitting get some hard-hitting chair trivia and facts and history, and just keep learning more about chairs.
Yeah. Hopefully some investigative reporting as well.
Yeah. Definitely some investigative reporting. So that is going to do it for our first episode of This Week in Chairs. I hope you enjoyed. If you like the show, please go on Twitter and tell Maxnomic. Like, let them know about the show, let them know what we're doing, that we're providing fair and balanced esports coverage.
Number one priority right there.
Yeah, number one priority. Email them, call their customer support, do whatever you can to help us promote this show and get that sponsorship and get 2 free chairs. So any final closing thoughts for you, Will, on this show?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. This is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. It's very important to me that esports be covered fair and justly, but also from fair and just perspectives. And what's more fair and just than 3 people talking about chairs and nothing about the game? So I think this is a really great thing that we're coming at it from this angle, and yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, practice safe sitting, always use a chair. All right, that's our show.
And scene.